Perfect. All right. Hi, parents. Hi, good evening. Welcome to the TIR9 orientation, the program that goes to the Tirthan Valley campus. We start on the 22nd of May from the Delhi airport terminal to bus parking, and we arrive back at the same place on the 30th of May. This orientation will basically be me going through this itinerary piece by piece. Uh, we'll go through this first, and then secondarily, we'll go through the kit list as well. Uh, I'll just try and explain everything, our processes, our communication protocols and safety protocols. And in the end, if you have any questions, we can have a small Q&A session as well. You can always, put up your questions after, I've done my little bit of the orientation. So as you can see, the beautiful picture in front of you is Tirthan Valley. This is the common sitting area. This is the Tir River, mainly where the water activities will be conducted. So we're talking about the location of the camp. It is, of course, within the Great Himalayan National Park in the Kullu district. It is one of the most beautiful campsites that we have, and kids love this campsite. It's a waterfront campsite. It's a private waterfront campsite, and we have the access to Tir River, and a lot of outdoor activities will be done here. I'll be taking you through the activities bit by bit. Now, if we talk about activities as a whole, there are two types of activity modules that we run in Tirthan Valley. One is rivercraft, and then one is backpacking. So just to break it down, in simple terms, rivercraft is kids understanding hydrology. They will understand about the currents of the Tirth River. They will be doing different activities like natural river crossing, natural cliff jumping. There's a beautiful waterfall trek that we take. There is stream walking also involved. So that is activity module that we've sort of curated for about 3 days in Tirthan Valley, followed by backpacking. Now, backpacking largely is all of you all understanding how to plan and execute a self-sustained expedition. Now, it will involve multiple things within it. Primarily, we would first understand how do we trek in the mountains, because there is a certain way that we have to conserve energy while trekking in the mountains. पानी पीने का भी तरीका होता है. There is a way, while you're trekking, there are some principles that you need to learn. Very common, a very basic being leave no trace. जैसे कि जब हम नेचर में जाते हैं, we leave it as clean as we enter it. So this is a small principle. There are many other principles that you learn in the backpacking module. There's multiple things other as well. Like apart from trekking, there are more, there's tent pitching. There is collection of woods and creating your own fire without using matches. There is understanding how to, read a trail through compasses and maps. It will teach you how to pitch your own tent. And largely in backpacking, it's an activity about teamwork. How do you work collaboratively with your team in terms of distribution of resources? मान लीजिए आप, you're going for a night out, and your team has to decide amongst themselves in their responsibilities, say who is the person who will be carrying the tent, who will be carrying the utensils, who will be carrying the food, so on and so forth. So that is largely backpacking for you. Uh, we'll come down to the program flow also. As you can see, this is a picture from the the stream fall trek. This is the kids going on the night out, and this is a picture that I was mentioning earlier, the natural river crossing. Now, we have a small group in this one, so we'll not be dividing the kids into two different groups. This program flow is largely for two different groups, but I'll be taking you through what will happen day by day at Tirthan. So day one, which is 22nd of May, participants will be departing from Delhi Airport bus parking area at around 6 p.m. Anyone flying out station, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware about the fact that we expect you to land before 4 p.m. In the coming days, we'll also share the departure message with you. So the departure message is basically all the details that you need to have before the departure. Our airport coordinator's number, our local participants coordinator's number, the exact Google pinpoint location of where we are actually meeting. Going forward, the second day when we leave from the Delhi airport at 6 p.m., we are expected to reach the camp next morning at around 7, 8 a.m., which is the breakfast time. Day two here actually will largely consist of ice breaking, of getting to know each other, getting to know your camp, getting to know your camp, उसके अंदर के norms क्या हैं, उसके अंदर के rules क्या हैं, उसके अंदर what are the safety protocols that you have to follow. You'll get to know your instructors. Also, we would be happy to ask you what are your expectations from this camp. And again, on the last day, we'll ask you, were we able to, complete these expectations or not? Of course, apart from that, you'll be given an introduction to your activity module. And in the evening, there will be a free time where you can have a nice splash in the pool. You can organize some games for you. You can decide to play whatever you like to play. You can play a game of football or perhaps volleyball if you choose to. There is a lot of area for that as well. Moving on, now on day three, we'll have our first water activity. It's our first river craft day, to be precise. So now in this, like I mentioned earlier, there are multiple activities. We can begin with natural river crossing and cliff jumping. And we can club that with, our first backpacking session where we have a, acclimatization hike just to purely get some gears going, just to understand, okay, what are the energy levels of the group and where are the weak points जहाँ पे हमारे group को, और better करना है हमको. That is about day two. Moving on. The next day, what we'll do, we basically, what we've learned from day one in terms of backpacking. So like I mentioned earlier, there will be elements of backpacking. There will be tent pitching, there will be fire making, there will be reading a compass, reading a map. All these elements will sort of will enable us to go for our night out. Now, two night outs basically mean that the kids will leave the camp early in the morning. Here we've written day five, but what we're going to do is we're going to replace that with day three. तो हम शारसी के लिए निकलेंगे डे थ्री अर्ली मॉर्निंग. वहाँ पे विल बिगिन आवर ट्रैक. वील हैव आवर एंटायर एलोकेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज कि हम ये टेंट लेके जाने वाले हैं, हम ये खाना लेके जाने वाले हैं, so on and so forth. And for the next 2 days, with our instructors, kids will be basically trekking through the trails of Sharti. बच्चे अपने टेंट्स खुद पिच करेंगे. They'll prepare their food by themselves, of course, chopping and all may with the technical stuff. Our instructors will, of course, help them. But yeah, largely kids will be doing this by themselves as well. And Tirthan being such a zero polluted kind of a place that, when you sleep under the stars, it is an experience by itself. So considering day three and four is basically night outs, day five again, we come back to the camp early in the morning for breakfast again. And then we continue with our water activities as we go forward. Now, coming in the water activities, we can do, let's say, day one पे हमने पहले river crossing की है. Now, in the second half of the river activities, we can do cliff jumping, we can do a waterfall trip, or perhaps we can do a simple stream walk. After this, we also have, when we come to the last days of the camp, day 7 and day 8, we have something which is called as Helter Skelter. Now, Helter Skelter is basically Inme's version of Olympics, where we create, fun, engaging games within the camp itself, where we use what skills we've learned in the last 6, 7 days, and we create games out of it. And you can win, via points. And once in the end, we hand out, medals and small tokens of gifts. So, that is an entire experience in itself. We'll also do reflection and closure in the end. Reflection by itself is extremely important for all of you all because as parents, speaking to the parents as well. Because what we're trying to do here is within the adventure activities, of course, kids have, there is an excitement, there is a rush, there is a feeling of achievement involved. And kids are put in a reflective zone by themselves subconsciously. But how do we derive learnings out of it? How do we facilitate those learnings? Is basically where the reflection part comes in. So we sit down all together and we ask questions where kids get to know more about themselves in terms of what made them overcome a particular fear, or on one single day they were feeling demotivated. So what was it that motivated them to go ahead and complete a challenge or achieve a fear? Was it their friends who were cheering for them, or perhaps an instructor, or something inside them clicked? They will get to know about it. So it's basically connecting dots largely. After we're done, let's say day 8 पे हम लोग post lunch वहाँ से निकलते हैं camp से after the feedback session and the closure, and day 9 early in the morning we come back 6 a.m. to the Delhi airport bus parking area. These are the photos of the night out. These are not your tent. We'll come to the accommodation later. ये बच्चे basically night out के time पे हैं. Now, largely talking about a safety protocols, there are a few things that you need to understand. There is emotional safety and there is physical safety. Physical safety, considering we've been doing this for now 30 years almost, is it's a strong point. It's something that we can give you 100% guarantee कि हाँ हाँ ये हमने ये sort किया piece by piece. Our instructors, well certified instructors from the top institutes of the country, like you can see here, NOLS, NIM, GM, all is the top institutes of the country जहाँ से लोग अपनी basic and advanced mountaineering courses करके हमारे पास आते हैं. Our entire equipment is certified equipment and not just standard by this country, internationally certified equipment we use. And all the equipment is of course thoroughly audited after every camp, before every activity, during the demos. There are multiple processes involved in that as well. When we talk about emotional security, there is a more nuanced, fashion where we make sure that the kids feel at home, they feel heard. So, considering they're away from you and they don't have their phones, it's very important for them to feel secure. If they face any issue in the camp or if they face, something like जो उनको एक particular problem जो उनको तकलीफ दे रही है, they should be comfortable in sharing that with an instructor, and that only happens because we have trained our instructors. This is a two-part, onboarding for instructors in the camp. So they, of course, have to be well certified and they have to be great in their outdoor scaling. That is one. But then we internally will see that who is somebody who is great with working with kids. They have you know qualities like sensitivity or approachability perhaps. They have a patience. They have attention to detail. कि हम एक बच्चे की needs तो एक बच्चा चुप बैठा है मेरे group में. I have the skill to sort of find, engage that kid, and then have a dialogue, an additional dialogue to make sure that we have a rapport with the kids so that they can start opening up to us and we can talk about, what is the good part and what the bad part and their entire experience largely. Now, when we talk about the ratio, it's very simple. For every 6 kids, we'll have an instructor on the camp. Also, apart from this, we also have an on-camp MBBS doctor. This doctor will basically be handing out all the prescribed medicines that you have mentioned in the application form. So while you're filling the application form, I'm pretty sure there would have been a medical form section where anything that has to be administered to the kid, uh, that's sort of a regular medication. You have written that down. We have a note of it, and that note will be handed over to the doctor. The instructors would know of it, and all of this will be happening well before the kids have reached the camp. So both the doctors and the instructors are briefed on किसको कौन सी कब दवाई देनी है हमने. Apart from this, during the camp, any small scratches, wounds, minor fever, headache, all of that can be easily taken care by us at the camp itself. Apart from that, we do have a emergency vehicle 24/7 outside the camp, and the nearby hospital. We've already mapped that out. It's in Shimla. It's about 45 minutes away. So that is also there, even though we've rarely sort of had a situation where that had to happen. But still in case we have planned it to the last mile. Moving forward with transport, it's pretty simple. We have the Indo-Canadians or the Volvos of the world. So basically, the recliner seat luxury buses that you see are the ones that we'll be using for traveling. Now, this particular batch, the group size is tad bit smaller, so you will not see the 45-seater, but you'll rather see perhaps an 17-seater or a 25-seater. But still, luxury buses with recliner seats always. And the kids will always be accompanied by our internal travel leader. The bus will be equipped with travel snacks, clearly a first aid kit. There will be vomit bags inside the bus. There will be anti-motion sickness medication for the kids who feel that they have a tendency for motion sickness. You can always let us know within or before the journey starts, and we can sort of give you that medication. It's a very simple. It's called Stugeron. For simple fecal hair, you can keep it in your mouth, and that's there and does the job. One request, if the kids are listening right now, while you're in the journey, I would request you that if you feel the need to pass motion or if you want to take a bio break, do give us a 10-15 minute window. You can come and tell us that, I think I'm gonna, or I think I would need to go to the washroom so that we can find a suitable clean place and stop there. Because हम पहाड़ों में होंगे and वहाँ पे कहीं भी बस रुकना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है, especially in the second half of the journey. So yeah, a 10-15 minute window would be great. Going forward, I think, yeah, we've talked about our equipment. It's international UIA standard. Medical, again, like I said, we have an on-camp MBBS doctor, and I've told you about the fact that all the medications that you will be sending across will be administered by the doctor and doctor alone. Now, when we move forward to accommodation and meals, again, pretty simple. These are called alpine tents. These are canvas tents. They are about 10 by 12 feet in size. They're built on a 2.5 feet platform. Now, one tent can easily accommodate four kids at least easily. Kids can choose their own tent mates, and yes, the tent will be separated for boys and girls. Again, similarly, in the same fashion, we have a common set of Western washrooms, changing areas, and bathing areas. So collectively, if you've seen dormitories, similar structure. One end of the camp has boys' washroom, and the other end of the camp has girls' washroom. Now, it's not very far away from their tent. It's rather I am standing outside my tent, and within a 20-meter walk, I can see my washroom. In the night, if the kids feel that they need to go to the washroom, we have two options. One, we set an expectation on day one that you have a buddy system. Jahan pe if you want to go to the washroom, you can wake up one buddy of yours, one tent mate of yours, and you both can collectively go and come back. It's a well parametered area, nothing to worry about. The campus security will be, of course, awake in the night and making sure that everything, is in place. And the camp is also dimly lit. Now, when we talk, and the other option is, of course, the instructor's tent is very adjacent to the child's tent. So if they wish that they want to be accompanied by the instructors, they can always ask them for help as well. They'd be happy to help you out. When we move forward for meals, again, uh, we basically serve all three types of meals at the camp: veg, non-veg, chain meals. Now, depending on what you've chosen in your application form, is what we want to serve you and what we prepare for accordingly. Now, all the meals that are prepared, one common question is that will the non-veg meal be prepared separately? Yes, we have separate utensils for non-veg meals and similarly for Jain meals as well. And they are kept separately, well labeled. Talking about the menu, it's a very similar menu that you have at home. Pretty much replicated that. What you go to prepare at home, you try to replicate that at the camp, of course, with a spin. So let's say the breakfast will be the usual. Uh, Either upmas or parathes or perhaps eggs. Eggs will be, of course, there. We have cereal, we have fruits, we have milk, curd, salad, and so on and so forth. Poha is a very common breakfast item that is always available. Now, going forward, apart from that, lunch and dinner will largely be the seasonal vegetables, the dal, roti, sabzi that you find at home. Of course, with rice and curd and salad and multiple options also. We will serve non-veg, let's say in the duration of 7 days, 3 or 4 nights is when we will also serve non-veg. So we can take out the 2 night outs and rest perhaps we'll be serving non-veg to the kids also in the dinner. Now, one question during this time usually comes across is that my child is a picky eater and I'm not too sure if he or she will be eating enough meals or enough servings perhaps. So at the time when we are serving the food, our instructors make sure that they're around the kids. They're also serving food to serving the food to the kids. We make sure that we keep an extra effort that if we see कि कोई बच्चा एक रोटी कम खा रहा है या थोड़े से उसने कम portions ली हैं, we you know little slight nudge, little slight motivation कि what आपने इतनी activity करती है, थोड़ा सा तो आपको खाना चाहिए. Just like you perhaps you would do at home is what exactly you can expect the instructors to be behaving at the camp, and not just meals perhaps in general also. Uh, Hydration का ध्यान रखना. दोपहर के बाद शाम में बच्चे बाहर आए हैं they're not wearing enough layers, so making sure that they wear enough layers ताकि उनको ठंडी हवा ना लगे. Small nuances like that. Basically what a guardian would be doing for the kids is basically an instructor's job there at the camp. Moving forward to the travel plan, uh, I briefly spoke on it earlier also. It's pretty simple. The 22nd May, participants will depart at 6 p.m. from Terminal 2, and we expect them to arrive on 23rd of May around 8 a.m. at the camp. On the return, 29th May is when around lunch they leave Tirthan camp and they come back to the airport at around 6 a.m. This journey will be approximately 11 hours, and yes, it will be the typical Chandigarh-Kullu region, Chandigarh-Ambala bypass towards Kullu. We do stop at OT. So the buses do not go till the last mile. We will stop at Hot. Hot is about a 1 hour, 1.5 hour journey before the camp. It's a place where we stop the buses, and from there forward we go with MUVs because वहाँ पे सड़कें थोड़ी सी पतली हैं and the bus might not be the best vehicle. It can go till there, but a more comfortable vehicle would be an MUV. So that is what we use to cover the last 1.5 hour stretch of the journey. Now, this is an important part, and I hope all parents and kids are listening to this particularly. Number one, this is not particularly a luxury camp in the sense that, we will be giving you all the basic amenities in the best of the fashion possible inside a camp. Not necessarily what you expect at a hotel or perhaps a resort or even a comfortable luxury stay within the mountains because nowadays a lot of people have started, building homestays and, you know, different huge tents with ACs and lamps and whatnot and TVs also. We can do that, but we would like you to be connected to the camp feeling of it. So it is not a luxury resort. You need to have that expectation. Similarly for washrooms, they might not fit the aesthetic appeal of, what you've seen at your home, perhaps or on a holiday. But yes, they are functionally perfect. They will do the job. And yes, that's, what the washroom is for. So they utility case mein, they are perfect. Yes, we will clean the washrooms and we have staff there that will clean the washrooms thrice a day. 1 second. Yeah. So we'll be cleaning the washroom thrice a day. Apart from that, yes, there is a small expectation from our end towards the kid as well that these are again as the camp is as much as it's yours as it's ours. You know what I mean? So we'd be happy where like if you're entering a washroom, so you leave it as clean as you found it. That is something that is that is something that will set right expectations for your partners and your peers also there. That's how you'll create an environment which is comfortable at the camp. Similarly for your tent mates, we will clean the tent absolutely, mint condition. You'll find the tents when you reach there. But for the next 7 days, those tents are your tents. So that's your room then. So we expect you to, of course, keep it clean. Moving forward, communication updates. Parents, this is for you. I'm pretty sure everyone is aware that you're not be carrying phones or any gadgets at the camp. Having said that, parents, this is not something that we do because we don't we don't want you to speak to your children or something like that. It is purely because kids would start learning, start reflecting, start coming out of their parental shell and start getting to know more about themselves only once they feel that they are away from home. It might be turbulent for the first day, but it gets fine. Kids do make new friends. It's a proven method. They come back so happy and they've made so many new friends that yeah, it's been 30 years since we're doing this now. So coming back to communications, yes. Uh, I'm pretty sure that the message that we had sent out for the orientation, you must have found a channel link as well, a WhatsApp channel link. If you click on that channel link, it will redirect you to a WhatsApp channel that says TIR9 uh, updates channel. This channel is basically where all the updates will be posted going forward. It can be the departure details, it can be the arrival on the camp details that the kids have safely arrived at the camp. It can also be all the daily updates that you will be seeing. So day one, day two, day three, and so on and so forth. Twice a day around 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. is when we post the updates. These updates are largely in terms of what the group is doing. So how is the weather, what have they eaten, what are the activities planned for the day, and so on and so forth. The 11 a.m. update will of course have one group picture largely, again purely for the update purposes. And the 6 p.m. update will have multiple group pictures, again, purely for the update. So, you know, if you don't see your kids doing all the activities and you want those pictures, we will be posting those pictures as well by the end of the program. Currently, what you're seeing on the channel are purely in terms of the update. We'll create a nice drive link and we'll share those drive links with you at the end of the program where the entire dump of all the activities will be posted. I think I've emphasized on this enough. No gadgets allowed on the camp. Some parents do ask, can I send a book or a Kindle or something like that? You can. I would recommend you not to. because largely the purpose of this entire thing is currently within kids particularly as they're in the learning stage, it's a common habit that we see that whenever the external environment becomes a little bit tough, we always have a scene to lock ourselves in and find ourselves in an internal environment where we feel comfortable, but we're not actually confronting the problem that is causing the external environment to be uncomfortable. And that's the cycle we're trying to break here. So मेरी book और मेरा Kindle भी वही काम करेगा मेरे लिए जो मेरा phone करता है. So I'd rather have kids interacting with other kids on the camp, having conversations about मेरा ये favorite sport है, मेरा ये favorite YouTuber है, मैं ये games खेलता हूँ, आज activity में मैंने ऐसा सही किया, and so on and so forth. Uh, yes, there is one thing that kids want to carry sometimes, and we allow that, but then again, it's your responsibility. A camera, yes, you can carry a camera. I would say carry a small digicam type of a camera because a larger camera is, of course, likely to break because again, you are in a terrain which is rocky. And if you drop it, because it's so big and heavy, it might end up breaking. It's your responsibility. We do have charging ports available at the main area at the common area where you can charge your camera. So yes, A, your responsibility. B, I would recommend the smaller one. When we talk about fitness and preparation, it's pretty simple and because just one second. Kids at this age usually are fit. You all are playing some sort of sports, involved in a lot of activities, school maybe otherwise be. So yeah, continue to play the sports that you're playing, and if not, maybe start playing the sports from now on till the day of the camp, and you're good to go. Yes, this is extremely important, and I'd like all of you all to just emphasize on this for one second. किसी की भी शक्ल पे नहीं लिखा होता कि वो बुली करने आए हैं या उनका बुली करने का मन है या फिर उनका इंटेंट भी है बुली करने का. But sometimes when you're in a camp where you have people from all walks of the country, different regions and all of that, there are chances that you might find there might be a conflict of opinion. So at the time, instead of trying to clear that or trying to resolve that by yourself, which may go south, and it does, I'd rather have you go to an instructor and just speak your heart out and just say that, what, this particular person spoke something that does not suit well with me. And we'll take care of it. We'll make sure to have your conversation. We'll make sure to have that sit down where, you both can talk. कि मैंने इस intense नहीं बोला था, and so on and so forth. These are small things that sometimes happen. They can happen in school, in a tuition perhaps you're going, or in a new football coaching that you have started going. So, of course, bullying is not acceptable anywhere and shouldn't be acceptable anywhere. But we will make sure that we create a wholesome environment on the camp for you guys. Especially when we see that some kid is being extra notorious, we will be the first ones to call them out. But if it's not happening in front of our eyes, we would be appreciative that you can come and tell us that and not just for bullying. It can be my 10 key zip is just a little bit crooked. I would like to fix that, or my the flush of this particular washroom is not working as properly as it should. We'll fix that for you. So yeah, come and tell us. Use of substances, of course, not allowed, and if found, kids will be sent back, ASAP at home. Yeah, young, the young kids, I don't expect this also. Major thing. This one I expect. No junk food and tuck. So, boss, situation is here. Okay, I know you love, your the chips and the biscuits and the cookies and whatever you eat at home, and pretty sure you like the taste as well. There's one small hitch when we come inside the camp. आपको बस में खाना है, no problem. You can have it in the bus as much as you want to. Once you come at the camp, and if you have anything left from what you were carrying in the bus, please hand it over to us. हम उसको as it is वापस आपको last day पे दे देंगे. We'll keep it locked in the kitchen. The only reason we don't want you guys to keep it inside your tent is because अगर आप उसको खोलेंगे गलती से भी उसका एक क्रम्बल छोड़िए उसकी अरोमा से भी it will invite all the rodents inside your tent, which is something that you don't want, which is something that we don't want. So please do make sure that you hand over all the junk food or tuck on day one when asked by the instructors to the instructor. Parents, if you'd like to spend some pocket money, even though there will be no need for kids to spend. If they are kids traveling from other cities, yes, अगर airport पे कुछ खाना है, you can spend the nominal amount. We also display our merchandise on the last day of the camp, and kids usually love to take some sort of souvenir back to their home. So maybe around 2,000, 2,500 is a fair enough amount that you can, spend with the kids, but nothing more than that. They will not be spending particularly on something at the camp. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and I will reshare it. Just give me 1 second. We'll discuss the kit list now. I hope up until now we're quite clear on whatever we discussed. If not, of course, there will be a Q&A session in some time. So just coming to the kit list. Yeah, I hope again my screen is visible. Now, Tirthan being near Kullo waterside camp, इसमें दोनों चीजों का ध्यान रखना पड़ता है कि दोपहर की धूप भी कड़क होती है एंड शाम को जो सर्दी होती है जो ठंडी हवा चलती है दैट इज ऑल्सो एज क्रिस्प एज इट कैन बी सो वी नीड टू मेक श्योर दैट द kit list is accordingly. Just give me 1 second. I think this is the wrong situation. This is for TIR1. So, all right. So the weather might vary. It can vary from, let's say 15, 20 degrees uh, in the evening perhaps, and it can rather even low, can go up below 15 as well. And in the noon, it can be a good 30 degrees as well. So we need to make sure we're carrying for both of them. Kitness is quite self-explanatory otherwise, but I'll still take you through it once. 4, 5 features, quick dry, and in dark colors. Both are important. Quick dry because it's a lot of water activity. You know, so it just makes sense for the features to be quick dry. Now, quick dry is basically the athleisure wear that you wear. That is quick dry. There's nothing new about it. The simple football jerseys, perhaps, or anything that you wear which comes under the athleisure wear is fair enough quick dry. 2, 3 full sleeve टी शर्ट यस बिकॉज शाम को वहां पे थोड़े से मच्छर घूमते हैं ना मच्छरों से बचने के दो तरीके हैं हम ओडोमॉस लगाएं विच इज ऑब्वियसली विल डू दैट बट अ बेटर वे ऑल्सो इज टू जस्ट वेयर फुलर स्लीव लोअर्स एंड फुल स्लीव टी शर्ट 2, 3 pairs of shorts again quick dry because water activity 2 sweatshirts full sleeve yes 3 track pants one can be warm or not also it's perfectly fine 7 to 8 pairs of socks Uh, two can be woolen or not again. Perfectly fine. But yes, 7 to 8 pairs of socks is important because you will be dirtying your socks every day and you will be there for it, about 7 days. So you should have a fresh pair for every day. One cap and sunshade because of course while you're doing the activities, the sun is direct. Undergarments sufficient. Uh, 2 pairs of night clothes. Usually kids don't abide by this. Whatever they are wearing in the evening is also their night clothes. But if you'd like, you can of course get 2 separate pairs of night clothes. One warm jacket, 100%. One poncho or raincoat, 100%. You can avoid the thermal in this one. When we come to footwear, this is something important and you should be knowing this. You should be looking at it very carefully. When we talk about shoes, one thing is the keyword which is rubber sole, not foam sole. तो अगर आप अपने शू के सोल पे ऐसे प्रेस करेंगे and if it goes inside, then that is foam sole. If it's sturdy and it sticks to your finger, if it's not moving, then it's a rubber sole. Any shoe that you already perhaps have right now can also be used, if you have like a sports shoe which has a rubber sole and a sturdy enough grip, well and good. We need not go to Decathlon and purchase a new one. If you don't and you feel that, maybe getting a new one is a good idea, you get a new one. You can get from Decathlon and I would recommend to get it now. Start wearing it, see that if you're comfortable in that shoe or not. I hope you're not getting a shoe bite in that shoe. So all of this has to be checked before. Now, one pair of hiking sandals. This is where you sort of come to, the technicality of it. Now, hiking sandal या कोई भी sandal important है instead of a croc. Crocs नहीं होनी चाहिए because हम जब पहाड़ों पे और स्पेसिफिकली तीर्थन में जो वाटर एक्टिविटीज हैं या फिर जब नॉर्मली बच्चे होते भी हैं कैंप पे, इट्स द टेरेन इज रॉकी एंड क्रॉक्स जो है इट्स बेसिकली एन इनविटेशन फॉर गेटिंग अ एंकल ट्विस्टेड और अदर एनी अदर स्लिपर because it's rubber, even though it's rubber, but it has no sturdiness. There's no straps like this. So your ankle should be strapped. You should be strapped. So you should know कि हमें ये hiking sandal लेके आनी है. And also for water activities, what you can do is get one pair of aqua shoes. Aqua shoes is a very simple set of they shoes एक slip on किस्म के शू होते हैं इसकी grip rubber की होती है and they dry up quickly and you can easily get them at Decathlon for under 1,000 also if you're just buying it for the purpose of this camp, which is highly likely. So the most basic aqua shoes at Decathlon will suffice. Now, other items that you should be carrying, personal toiletries, yes. Uh, shower gel is the best one. Soap and shampoo and वो सब अलग लेके आने की जगह एक 3-in-1 करके आता है बहुत सारे brands का आता है. I think you should go and get this one. It will require less space in your toiletry bag and largely in your packing as well. Toothbrush, of course, and must include a sunscreen SPF 30 plus. It says 30 plus, I would say get a 50 plus. Lip balm and cold cream, yes. Mosquito repellent, yes. You can get patches, you can get Odomos, whatever you feel is fine, it's okay with us as well. A pair of sunglasses, yes. While you're doing the activity, sometimes while you're trekking, sun is direct, it helps you, keep your eyes calm, and of course, it shouldn't, come directly at your eyes as well. A torch or a headlamp, 100%. Plastic bag for used wet clothes, 100%. You can choose to dry them at the ropes that are attached for the tent as well. हम लोग वैसे टांग दिया करते हैं जब हमारे टी-शर्ट सी होते हैं. Then we can of course pick them up and do it, all of that. But if you'd like to just directly dispose them into the bag, at least do it with a plastic bag. One water bottle, at least 750 ml to 1 liter, not bigger than that also. In about this size would be fine. Now inside the tent, there will be a mattress, individual mattress for the kids. But having said that, on the top of it, we expect you to get sleeping bags. So, you can use as your blanket. You can get yourself inside the sleeping bag. These sleeping bags should be, they can suffice up to 10 degrees and it is perfectly fine. Anything below than that, you might feel a little bit too warm, but it completely depends kid to kid. So if your kid feels more, if they feel cold more than other kids, then perhaps you should go for a low temperature sleeping bag. If not, you can go for a high temperature sleeping bag. But something between 10 to 15 degrees will suffice. One inflatable pillow, which was the most recent addition in our kit list. It made its debut last year. This was something that kids wanted, and it was a demand from the kids. Like, can we get an inflatable pillow? We found nothing wrong in it. We said, why not? And then since then, it's been part of our kit list. So a sleeping bag and an inflatable pillow. Now, parents, if you don't wish to carry a sleeping bag, that is perfectly fine. We have them at the camp. They are washed, sun dried, and sanitized after every camp. What you can perhaps get is a sleeping bag liner. You can go to Decathlon and ask for a sleeping bag liner. A sleeping bag liner is basically a bed sheet for your sleeping bag, which will sort of, just be an additional layer between the sleeping bag and the kid. So you can get a sleeping bag liner. If the kids do not know how to maneuver a sleeping bag and how to set it up and how to set up a sleeping bag liner, please don't worry. Our instructors will be more than happy to help you guys out. Like we've mentioned earlier, medication and spectacles. So, firstly, spectacles. Get an extra pair of spectacles if you use them, and contact lenses are not recommended because of the obvious reasons. Now, I'd say that get an extra pair of spectacles purely because what if in case, you break one of your glasses? It's an adventure camp. Sometimes you happen while doing an adventure activity. So you have one extra, pair of spectacles with you. Medicine. Parents, I hope you've mentioned everything in the medical form. If not, I'll just drop my number in the end of this orientation on the chat. If something is pending, you can always send it to me and I will make sure to add it in the medical note. Uh, and all the medications, once the kids reach at the camp on day one, we'll take the note and we'll take the entire medication and we'll deposit it to the doctor. And the doctor will make sure that the medications are being administered at the right time. When they're on the night out, the instructor that is going with them will be made sure that he is briefed properly and, you know, he will be administering medicines to the kids in, of course, conversation with the doctor. Now, when we talk about packing, there are two major things that you need to pack. Uh, One is a large rucksack or a knapsack or a backpack, rather. So basically, this rucksack should be about 60 to 70 liters is what we recommend. Uh, Trolleys and duffel bags is something that we don't recommend usually, purely because the amount of time you will be carrying that bag is quite nominal in terms of where you can, you know, drag it across the ground. जब आप एयरपोर्ट पे होंगे तो एयरपोर्ट से लेके बस के बूट कंपार्टमेंट तक वो जाना है बैग। और फिर जब आप कैंप से उतरेंगे तो कैंप की पार्किंग से लेके आपके टेंट तक पार्क होने हैं वो बैग। एंड सिमिलरली ऑन आर वे बैक, जब हम वापस जाएंगे तो टेंट से लेके कैंप गाड़ी की पार्किंग में बस के बूट कंपार्टमेंट, दैट इज अबाउट इट। इफ यू कैरी something like a trolley bag or a duffel bag, it is not easy to carry that bag like this. Can you see me? ऐसे कैरी करना डफल बैग को इतने सारे सामान के साथ या फिर ट्रॉली वाले बैग को आसान नहीं है और आप उसको ड्रैग नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि वहाँ की सरफेस अलाउ नहीं करती है, so you end up breaking the wheel. In that case, the best way to carry your luggage would be a rucksack, and that is why we recommend that as well. That is one. That is your larger chunk of everything that you carry. There is one more small backpack that you need to carry. It can be a school bag, something of this size, if you can see me. Now, this is basically your day bag. दिन में जब आप एक्टिविटीज करने जाओगे, जिस जिस चीज की आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी, सनस्क्रीन, सैनिटाइजर, कैप, handkerchief, water bottle, so on and so forth, can all be can all be fitted inside this bag. And you can use your larger bag as your repository, जहाँ से आप अपने कपड़े निकालो, अपने दिन की यूटिलिटीज निकालो और छोटे बैग में लेके आप चल सकते हो। वन मेजर क्वेश्चन दैट पेरेंट्स आस्क, जो बच्चे नाइट आउट पे जाएंगे तो क्या वो वही बैग यूज करेंगे जो बड़ा रक्सैक लेके आए हैं? नहीं, दोज आर हैवी रक्सैक्स। विल allocate them different bags. Again, there will be rucksacks only, but with limited stuff that they need for the span of 2 days. That those are two different bags. हम कैश के बारे में पहले ही बात कर चुके हैं। It applies the same. So if you want to give them, you can ask the kids, कि ये यहाँ पे पर्स के अंदर या बैग केस जितने मैंने सेफली रखे हुए हैं. You can either deposit the cash at once you reach the camp so that it's safe with us, or you can keep it with yourself. I recommend कि आप हमको डिपॉजिट कर दीजिए and last day पे हम आपको वापस कर देंगे. This is pretty simple. We've discussed this. Do not carry mobile phones, but also, yes, do not carry expensive jewelry or electronic gadgets, or even expensive clothes for that matter. It is ultimately an adventure camp. तो कोई एक्सपेंसिव ज्वेलरी गिर जाएगी, नहीं मिलेगी, अननेसेसरीली खो जाएगी. कोई एक्सपेंसिव kapra, you'd be wearing and it will be all dirty. No point. Get the most basic clothes that you have on the camp. Apart from that, this is one major one that participants are flying to the departure city for the program. If you're flying to Delhi from any other city, I believe there are kids flying from Nagpur to this particular camp. Uh, what you need to do is, once you hand over the phones to us at the airport, please make a note कि ऐसे फोन और चार्जर दोगे हमको तो it will be shabby. It will हमको स्टोर करने में थोड़ी तकलीफ होगी. What we would be really appreciative of is that you can get a Ziploc bag. उसके अंदर phone, charger, and a power bank. Power bank is the keyword. Please know power bank is the keyword because after 7 days, once we hand over the phones back to you, उस time उस phone में battery नहीं होगी. You will need to have something that is a source of power at handy. You cannot start looking for plugs वहाँ पे airport पे. So keep a power bank in that Ziploc and well label that Ziploc. कि इससे ये मेरा नाम है, एंड आई एम गिविंग दिस entire ziploc with all my necessary items to you, my entire gadgets are with you. Apart from this, I think we are good to go. Any other questions? I this is where you can start asking questions. Okay, I can see something on the chat. How many kids are there in the camp? We have currently 8 kids. We expect 3 more. We will know at any time. Actually, yes, we have 3 more now. So it's a total of about 11 kids now. Uh, will till the clock in zipper form work? Or should it have backstrap? No, no, no. Like I was mentioning earlier, Khushbu ma'am, this is clock will not work. They will have to have like a strap. The एक सैंडल होनी जरूरी है वहाँ पे, एक स्ट्रैप होना जरूरी है जो उनकी एंकल को स्टेबिलिटी देगा. Just to clarify, a bed with mattress is provided. The sleeping bag is to be used as a blanket, right? No. So a bed is not provided. बेसिकली ये जो कंक्रीट प्लेटफॉर्म होते हैं 2.5 फीट के, उसके ऊपर एक दरी बिछती है, उसके ऊपर इंडिविजुअल मैट्रेस रखी जाती है, नॉट द कॉट, जस्ट द मैट्रेस, और उसके ऊपर बच्चे अपने स्लीपिंग बैग लेके सोते हैं. The boys to girl ratio, it is 1 second, 7:3, 7:4. Sorry. Any other questions by anyone? Please feel free to ask. Raise your hand. Anything that I can help you out with?
Hi, Unnat, Siddhi here.
Hi,
Uh,
ma'am.
yeah, that mattress thing I had asked, I'm still not clear on it. Can you just explain once again what it is?
Surely, surely, surely. So,
The point is, do kids need to carry a blanket also? That's also my.
no, 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 no. They don't need to carry a blanket. So, let me just give you a small example. If you can see this is a 2.5 feet concrete platform. This is the entire 10 by 12 feet tent. इसके अंदर एक सिंपल दरी ऐसे बिछती है, जस्ट टू कवर द कंक्रीट. उसके ऊपर बिना किसी बेड के ऐसे इंडिविजुअल मैट्रेस पड़े होते हैं, लाइक दिस. जैसे गद्दे होते हैं वैसे ही ये इंडिविजुअली ऐसे प्लेस होते हैं, विदाउट एनी आयरन कॉर्ड्स और एनी बेड. तो दिस इज मैट्रेस. उसके ऊपर का जो स्लीपिंग बैग एंड इन्फ्लेटेबल पिलोज है वो बच्चे कैरी करेंगे, यूज एज द पिलो एंड द ब्लैंकेट.
ओके, गद्दा तो है, लेकिन मतलब वो सॉफ्ट है, गद्दा तो है, ठीक है.
100%. 100. खुशबू मैम ये.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask one thing. Like you had mentioned, aqua shoes or Crocs, the third item in the shoes list, besides the hiking sandals. So, can that Crocs be without the strap? Is what I wanted to ask.
No, 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 no. So aqua shoes, not Crocs, is what we were aiming towards. एक हाइकिंग शूज,
Huh.
एक सैंडल और एक
Okay.
एक्वा शूज.
Okay.
हाँ जी. एक्वा शूज लार्जली फॉर वाटर एक्टिविटी. सैंडल्स बिकॉज बच्चे हर टाइम जूते पहन के नहीं घूमेंगे, जब वो यूजुअली कैंप में होंगे तो क्रॉक्स की जगह वो सैंडल्स को पहनेंगे एज स्लिपर्स.
Okay. And aqua shoes must be like with the strap only. That means nothing. So, not no Crocs as such.
नो क्रॉक्स एज सच. एक्वा शूज मैम लार्जली स्लिप ऑन होते हैं, बट दे वेरी टाइट.
Okay. 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 I'll try to spot it in Decathlon then. And yeah, one more question. Like my daughter and one of her cousin both are traveling for this camp. So they'll be traveling to Delhi. So they'll call the person there on reaching.
यस. तो लाइक
Okay.
आई मेंशन, अगर ये 22 मई को निकल रहा है मैम, तो मैं खुद ही ये मैसेज आपको लगभग 20 मई तक ड्राफ्ट करके हर पेरेंट को इंडिविजुअली भी भेजूंगा, एंड आई विल ऑल्सो पोस्ट इन द चैनल एज वेल.
Okay.
उसके अंदर एग्जैक्ट पिन पॉइंट लोकेशन और एयरपोर्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर का नंबर मेंशन होगा. सो एज सून एज दे लैंड, दे हैव टू
Hmm.
गिव अ कॉल टू द एयरपोर्ट कोऑर्डिनेटर, एंड
Okay.
मेक श्योर टू टेल योर किड्स दैट जब तक हम आपसे बात करके कोऑर्डिनेट करके आपको बाहर नहीं बुलाएंगे, आप प्लीज एयरपोर्ट के अंदर रहिएगा, बिकॉज ऑफ टू मेजर रीजन.
Hmm.
एयरपोर्ट के अंदर एयरपोर्ट की अथॉरिटीज होती हैं, ए. बी, एयरपोर्ट के अंदर उनके पास क्लीन वॉशरूम्स और एसी के लिए एक्सेस है, एंड चार्जिंग पोर्ट्स के लिए एक्सेस है. बाहर बहुत गर्मी होती है इस टाइम दिल्ली में. तो
Hmm.
हम चाहेंगे जब तक बच्चे अंदर रह सकें रहें, डिपार्चर के आधे 1 घंटे पहले हम उनको बाहर लेके आ जाएंगे.
Okay. And जब वापस भी आएंगे उन लोग तो आप उनको ड्रॉप कर दोगे बोर्डिंग गेट तक.
100% ऑफ कोर्स.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
मोस्ट. Well, if parents you don't have any questions, you can also drop off. Like it's perfectly fine. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Unnat, all the kids will be coming back to the base area every night, right?
Yes, correct. So apart from the 2 night outs, need to be very precise on this. बच्चे जब 2 नाइट आउट करेंगे बेसिकली, जैसे मैंने बताया था कि डे 1 पे वो अपनी बैक पैकिंग की स्केलिंग करेंगे, रिवर की थोड़ी एक्टिविटीज करेंगे. वंस द स्केलिंग इज डन, डे 2 और डे 3 आर द ओनली 2 and 3 days बेसिकली जहाँ पे वो कैंप पे वापस नहीं आते हैं. वो नाइट आउट है. वहाँ पे वो एक एक्सपेडिशन करते हैं कि हमने ट्रैक किया, हमने टेंट पिच किए, हमने अपना खाना बनाया, वी मेड फायर, वी हैड नाइट कैंप फायर, हमने रात को वहीं पे एक सेशन किया, एंड देन वहीं पे भी स्लीप अंडर द स्टार्स इन अ स्लीपिंग बैग.
So what about washrooms and bathing over there?
Those 2 days, kids will not have a chance to bathe. And washrooms ke liye, of course, boys ke liye, it will be the behind the bush activity, and girls ke liye, we will dig up a toilet tent, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Most welcome. Well, if we don't have any more questions, will it be okay if I stop the
So,
recording?
can you repeat the number of students attending?
7 boys, 4 girls, 11 students as of now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Unnat. I'm dropping off. Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for attending.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much.
All right. Thank you.